Hey everybody, it's Diandra Marie, and this is Power, a mini-series I created for Women's History Month. I interview 4 exceptional women who are making strides in their industry. They give their perspectives on working in male-dominated fields and drop some gems along the way. Kanye was right. No one man should have all that power, because we hold our own too. So stay tuned for today's episode of Power on itsdiandramarie.com.
No one man should have all that power.
Today, I am sitting with Megan Watt, who is the Chief Claim Officer of Everest Insurance, and she is also a licensed lawyer in 3 states, and she practiced insurance coverage litigation.
Correct.
Okay, great. So let's clear the air here. Chief Claim Officer. I've heard of Chief Executive Officer, CEO, CFO, CAO, GMO. No, but seriously, just explain what is a CCO and what does that role entail?
Chief Claim Officer is the person who is in charge of the claim function for an insurance company. There are a lot of different things that can happen in a given day. So it can cross a variety of operational issues, substantive claim questions. People will present claims, request financial authority so that we can resolve claims. We are accountable to our customers and policyholders first and foremost, and our obligation is to timely and accurately adjust the claims. So I could have meetings with people who have a whole variety of claims. We have financial lines products, property products, workers' compensation, the casualty products. So there's a lot of interesting things that can go on in those meetings.
I feel like a lot of people want to work toward that executive. Like, I want to be a CEO, even if it's their own company or the company they're working for. However, I'm sure it's not all rainbows, butterflies, and dandelions. What is some of the nitty-gritty that you feel like you've faced, being at a high level?
I think you always have to pay attention to detail. When you're responsible for a function, right? I use that word specifically because when you're responsible for it, you're responsible for all aspects of it. Yeah. So when things go well, you're responsible, but when they don't go well, you're responsible. Yeah. It's a balancing act. I don't think that there's exclusively one way or thing to focus on all the time. Otherwise, you will probably lose your balance or become misdirected at a certain point in time.
And I'm really glad you brought that up, balance. And it's not just work-life balance. I think balance is important in every aspect of your life,
Yes, you're right.
So I guess for you, what are some of the ways you balance?
With practice. And what you need to balance changes. So you have to not just balance, but recalibrate your priorities all the time. And depending upon, what's going on professionally or in your personal life, and it's different for everybody. And we all face different challenges. When you're trying to balance, be open to change, because part of balancing is accepting what is working and what's not working.
Right.
And it's not linear. So you have to change all the time. And it's hard for people to do that because people associate change with a lack of control.
Yes.
And it's difficult to develop the skills that are associated with transition and acceptance.
Right.
But I find that what helps with balance is practicing those skills and also understanding that everybody goes through it.
Right. Let me just get a little personal. You were raised in Puerto Rico for quite a few years, right? Okay, great. So being that you work in insurance, and especially in claims specifically, is you kind of see when certain catastrophes happen, like Hurricane Maria or even Hurricane Irma. So while I understand you are very professional and you get your job done to the best of your ability, how do you feel when you see certain catastrophes happening in places that might be near and dear to your heart?
Oh, I think it's very heartbreaking when you see people who are, completely robbed of what we'll call the normal, right?
Yeah.
It's extremely overwhelming, and in order to regain the footing that they had, it's an enormous undertaking, and it's not one single point in time. It will continue, and it reshapes their lives. It's a very formative experience for all the people who are in the middle of it. It's hardly a situation that, especially Puerto Rico, that's been rectified.
Right.
And And it won't, the island will never be the same, right? People will learn many, many different things from the experience. But I would say, it's a tragedy to see what everybody is going through.
Name a woman in history that either inspires you currently or has inspired you throughout the course of your life.
There were a collection of women when I was a child, when we grew up in Puerto Rico, a group of teachers who were very close friends who were of my mother's. And Lillian Strong, Joss McConnell, Jay Griggs. I spent a lot of time in their presence and in an environment where it wasn't always hospitable. And they always were optimistic, supportive, and objective about what was going on and what we were dealing with. Their ability to do that consistently over a long period of time was a great experience because it shows resilience and stamina, which are two qualities that are very helpful.
In life, right?
In life, yeah.
Awesome. So it starts with the teachers. We definitely have to appreciate our teachers. They are also a part of our history, and they're also a part of what makes us us.
Yes.
So I definitely appreciate you sitting down with me, Megan. I know you took time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you for asking.
No problem. And for everybody out there, make sure you get your insurance right. You have any questions about claims, I'm going to send you right to me. It's Diandra Marie. It's Megan Watt, and we're out.